Welcome to the Brunswick Beat,
Brunswick County's only television news show brought to you by the Brunswick Beacon. I'm Rachel Johnson.
and I'm Stacy Manning. Search and rescue teams worked Monday night and through much of Tuesday looking for a man who jumped from the Southport City Pier. Eddie Hill of Supply was showing his family how well he could swim Monday evening. He climbed over the 4-foot safety railing and jumped into the water. His family called for assistance after he surfaced and yelled for help. He went down and hasn't been seen again. His body has yet to be recovered.
Brunswick County is in the midst of an extreme drought, and it is taking a toll on area farmers. Many farmers are facing disaster as their vegetables, particularly corn crops, have been destroyed by the lack of rain. The drought is also affecting animals on the farm and owners' abilities to raise them with proper nutrition. As the drought continues, residents are urged to be cautious of water consumption. The county is under voluntary water conservation and a mandatory burn ban.
Every 10 years after a U.S. Census, members of the North Carolina General Assembly are charged with redrawing lines of state House and Senate districts as well as U.S. House districts. This year, legislators had a series of redistricting meetings. They are expected to continue when the General Assembly reconvenes for a skeleton session on Wednesday, July 13th. After 14 years in Congress, U.S. Representative Mike McIntyre may have been drawn out of his district. The new proposed congressional maps released on July 1st splits the Lumberton Democrats' county, city, and voting district. Drafted by the Republican-led state legislature, North Carolina's 7th congressional district could be ripe for a new congressman if the line stays as proposed.
Local candidates continue to file for the upcoming municipal election in November. Candidates have until noon this Friday, July 15th, to file for office. For a full list of who's filed, pick up this week's Beacon or go online to brunswickbeacon.com. Holden Beach Mayor Alan Holden has filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection. The filing is for personal finances and does not affect Alan Holden Vacations or any of his other corporations. Holden said the lingering recession in the real estate industry, sewer assessments, and increases in taxes and insurance bills have hurt his personal finances. He plans to restructure payments with his reduced income. He said none of his property on Holden Beach is in foreclosure. Holden has also filed for re-election as the town's mayor.
A scheduled foreclosure sale of Carolina Shores Golf and Country Club has been postponed until September. The rescheduling was announced by a county tax official Tuesday morning at the Brunswick County Courthouse, where a handful of Carolina Shores residents turned out to learn the future of the 37-year-old 18-hole golf course. Sunset Beach residents have filed a lawsuit for damages they claim were caused to their home on West Canal Avenue by construction of the new Intercoastal Waterway high-rise bridge. Coley and Frances Dooley and their 2 children are listed as plaintiffs in the suit filed against the State Department of Transportation, State Transportation Secretary Eugene Conti, and English Construction Company. They seek damages exceeding $10,000.
Sheriff's deputies initiated a traffic stop on a vehicle driven by 17-year-old Jermaine Frink of Shallotte on North Carolina 130 and Ash. They found and seized 10 grams of marijuana and drug paraphernalia. Frink was charged with possession with intent to sell and deliver marijuana and possession of drug paraphernalia. Read more about these stories and find out what's happening in your community in this week's Beacon, available on newsstands now.
Hi, I'm Stacy Manning, Managing Editor of the Brunswick Beacon. Do you have a community event you'd like to tell our community about? You can email it to me at editor@brunswickbeacon.com, or you can log on to our website at www.brunswickbeacon.com. Look for the Submit News icon near the top right-hand corner of the page. Deadlines are noon each Friday. On July 31st, Brunswick Novant Medical Center will open its doors to the public. We've got a sneak peek this week, and we're taking you behind the scenes of the new 74-bed, $107 million hospital.
This will be our main lobby. You'll notice when you pull into the front of the hospital, to the right is the main entrance where you're standing right now. And to the left is the emergency department with the ambulatory entrance right in the non-denominational chapel. In our chapel, we have 17 volunteer chaplains. And they will be also taking care of our patients as we're here in the chaplain office. You can see that our rooms have breakaway doors so that if we needed to get in and quickly, you can just push the doors through. All of our computer systems are getting revved up and ready to go. I'll take you down to our trauma room. And this gives 360-degree access to the patient so that if we need to stabilize the neck or intubate the patient, the physician and the medical staff have an easy way of getting to the patient. On this side, we also have an identical room. It's a mirror image. But the nice part about it is there's glass doors that separate it. What's important about that is at night you have one physician on, and if you have two people involved in a motor vehicle accident and two traumas going on, he could be in one room and still visualize and keeping an eye on the other patient instead of running back and forth. So this is a unique feature. In a lot of hospitals, you'll have your radiology departments located quite a distance from the ER, and so it increases the time to get the patient there. It increases the amount of time that the nurse has to get to the patient. If they need pain medication, if they're there for a few hours for a procedure. So this makes it very convenient for us and for our staff. And we have 22 rooms here. So we're able to take patients in. Once they're registered, coming back for surgery, in these rooms they'll be prepped for the OR. We have lockers located here so that if there's not someone to take belongings, we can lock up the patient's belongings and then get them back to them. They will also then go into the operating room, have their procedure. They may go to the recovery room, PACU, the post-anesthesia care unit, and then back to these rooms before they're discharged, so that it's a pre- and post-surgical room. We mow our lights and our laparoscopic towels, enough room for storage that's recessed again. It's a beautiful room. If you talk to any of our surgeons, they get very excited about this. Hug system, which is a little bracelet that goes on the baby, and if the baby is removed without having that band removed, it locks down the entire hospital. The doors will close and lock, the elevators stop, return to the ground floor, the exits will lock. You have a flat screen TV. You also have, notice the sink is for us to be able to train mom to take care of the first baby bath, as well as the spray water for that. This is where the baby would be taken care of once delivered. Would be brought over here to this bassinet. And again, you have the med gases attached here. Talking a little bit about, you'll notice our bathrooms are a little bit larger for mom. One of the feedback that we got from our other facility was that we had bathtubs with whirlpools. We found out that mom doesn't usually take a whirlpool bath. Dad was using them. But what they wanted was a shower with a bench in it and a handrail. So we have little showers with benches and handrails, if you notice, in the washroom.
We recently sat down with hospital president Denise Mihal, who spoke about the hospital and what it means to her and the community.
Very excited that the facility is ready to be open. It's 19 days and counting, and we'll be moving patients on July 31st. I can't tell you the relief and the joy and pride that it brings that this is finally coming to be a reality. The staff have worked so hard. The medical staff have been extremely supportive. The community, our county commissioners, the hospital authority. We would not be here today. It was a long road, 5 years, if it wasn't for the support of everyone.
If you'd like to see the new hospital for yourself, you can take a tour from 1 to 4 p.m. this Saturday, July 16th. You can also find out more about the new hospital in this week's Beacon.
Brunswick County Animal Shelter today with Zeke. Zeke is a black Cavalier Spaniel mix. He's about 2 years old. He's a stray who was picked up in Leland and he needs a new home. He's had his shots and he's been here since June 7th, and he is described as energetic and playful, and he would make a great pet for kids. So come on out and visit with him. The visitation hours are from 10 to 4, Mondays through Saturdays. And visit with the other dogs and cats available for adoption here as well.
Thanks, Laura. Tune in next week and meet Chipper, a Dachshund dog that also needs a home. Ash mom Amy Smith has been granted regular visitation rights with her son. At a hearing in Canada on July 8th, Smith signed a document giving her visitation rights with 8-year-old Brody and 6-year-old Nathan. Smith said her sons will come home to visit her in Brunswick County, including on the holidays. The boys' first visit back in Brunswick County is scheduled for August. For the past 2.5 years, Smith has been wanting to regain custody of her sons, who are at their dad's in his family's home in Kitchener, Ontario, Canada.
This next story is one that has really touched my heart this week. Ocean Isle Beach-based band Cowboy Chrome has written a song for former Brunswick County resident Nick Patrick, who is 15 and battling a rare form of brain cancer. Nick's story moved band members to tears, and it has become their personal mission to help him and his foundation, Brain Cancer Sucks. Nick creates kits for other teens recently diagnosed with brain cancer.
Everything changed with the news she heard when the doctor mentioned that cancer word.
Look for the complete story on Cowboy Chrome and Nick Patrick in this week's Beacon. This week we continue our Brunswick County Park series. We dropped by the Brunswick River Park to check out the activities.
Hi, I'm Melinda Johnson with Brunswick County Parks and Rec, and we're visiting Brunswick River Park today. Brunswick River Park is located just off of Highway 133 outside of Leland, across from Belleville Elementary School. We have 2 playgrounds for your kids to enjoy. Brunswick River Park is a beautiful park. It has a platform down here for fishing, and it offers spectacular views of the Brunswick River, as you can see behind me. It's a great place to picnic, and we hope you and your family can visit Brunswick River Park today.
Tune in next week as we visit another of Brunswick County's beautiful parks.
A Calabash man hit the jackpot. On July 4th, John Butler, a retiree from Calabash, learned he had one of 2 winning tickets matching all 5 numbers in the July 3rd Pick 5 drawing. Butler bought his winning ticket at the Minuteman Food Mart in Sunset Beach. After taxes, he collected a check for $94,000. Butler says he plans to buy his wife a new car and save the rest for his family. That's all the time we have for tonight, but you can read all these stories and much more in this week's Beacon. If you know of a story or a person you'd like to see featured on Brunswick Beat, email us at brunswickbeat@brunswickbeacon.com or follow us on Facebook at Brunswick Beacon or on Twitter at Brunswick Beacon.
Thank you for joining us, and don't forget to tune in next week for a brand new edition of Brunswick Beat, Brunswick County's only television news show brought to you by the Brunswick Beacon. Tonight's Beacon shines on Cowboy Chrome and their new release, Bump in the Road.
My eyes were wide open, but I just didn't see how anything like this could ever happen to me. What I'd give to get back before the day I heard that doctor mention that cancer word. What I choose now is my only choice. 'Cause I believe when I hear God's voice. The doctors told my mom to just let me die, but they didn't talk to the man in the sky.